I've been trying to get better at chess. It's a fantastic game. It has a depth, tactics, and you can play whatever time control you want. You want each side to have 1 minute? Done. 10 minutes? Easy. You want an hour and 30 minutes per person, per game? Oh, that's classic. I tend to do the shorter time controls. 10 minute, 5 minute, 3 minute, and progressively. As I get less and less time, I get worse and worse at chess. And part of that is me not seeing tactics, not exactly knowing how pieces operate on the board or how they work together. And besides playing more games or reading chess books, watching chess videos, one of the best ways to improve is to do puzzles. Now, I've done, a handful of puzzles. Definitely not a large amount, but I think they're just fun. Because I like puzzles. And on this website, lichess.org, you can do whatever number of puzzles you want for free. If you get them right, fantastic. You move on to the next one. And as you complete more and more correctly, the puzzle rating increases, which means the puzzles get progressively more difficult. And if you don't get them correctly, what it does is it stores those ones you didn't complete in what I assume to be a folder, so that you can retry those puzzles later. See what you didn't see, do what you didn't do. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm trying to work through a couple of the ones I didn't do correctly the first time. Not all of them, that'd be a bit much. But maybe 10 or 12 of the ones I didn't get a passing grade on. Now, chess is a thinking game, but I am of the opinion that one of the best ways to get better at something is to talk about it while you're doing it. Try and work out your thought process out loud. So that's what I'm going to try and do. Will it work? I don't know. Will I answer all of these correctly? Definitely not. But I'm going to try and think out loud for 10 or so puzzles. So the first one. If I'm looking at this board, a lot of pieces have already been removed. I'm seeing maybe a checkmate if I can connect my bishop and queen to that square. But that bishop also protects the pawn, and their rook protects the pawn. But if I set up the threat by bishop taking pawn is incorrect. How about rook take? Nope. Alright, I got nothing. What is it? Is it my horse? Is it the knight? Queen sack. Get a hint. Oh, interesting. Okay. The queen and the king are on the same line, which means if I move my bishop to c4, I pin the queen to the king. The queen cannot move because it is the only piece protecting the king from a check. Is that a skewer? And then I take the queen. Okay. I'll see that one again. What? If I put my queen on f8, checking the king, where can it go? Can't go forward. Has to go back. So I think that's right. And then I check with the pawn. Okay. And is that checkmate? It is checkmate. Okay. Alright, something was taken. My rook was taken. And so I assume I have a mate somewhere. My queen can go to f2, and that does check the king. So where can the king go after? Where'd it go? Yeah, maybe. So let's try it. And now what I have to decide is, how on earth does that work? I don't think I take this bishop. I can move my queen to f3, and then where can the king go? Can't go here? Oh, is that just me? Because this knight is saying the king can't go to these two squares. This pawn is saying the king can't go to g4. So these three squares can't go. So I think that is checkmate. Or it's almost checkmate. What is to do it again? So now it's mate. Okay. I was just making sure that the queen couldn't stray. Okay. All of my pieces are kind of okay. This knight, I mean, I can just push my pawn. That doesn't seem especially good. What if I took his pawn? Alright, what threats do can I check? So there are checks, captures, and attacks. Can I check the king? Yes. I can move my knight to f5, where it immediately gets taken by the bishop. So that's not it. What other squares can I go to? Here, which just gets taken by the king. I can take the pawn. I can just straight up push my pawn, but I don't think that works. What about, because if I take this pawn with my e pawn, he can take with the rook and attack my queen. If I take this pawn and protect my knight, for some reason I don't believe that's accurate. If I took his bishop, yeah, I think I take his bishop, because his bishop's the only thing protecting his rook. So I take the bishop, I remove the defender, and then I take the rook. Beautiful. So now, how do I do this? I can move my queen, check his king. His king cannot move to some squares. That doesn't seem great. I can check here. Ideally, I want this queen. So I could trade, I could force a trade, but that just seems losing. If I check by going up one, maybe that's it. That's not it. Back? No. To this side? No. Alright. Do I just take the pawn? No, because then they'll just push their pawn. But am I okay with that? Nope. Alright. Give me. Oh, it's just. Yeah, the pawn is the thing that's blocking their queen from seeing my queen. Didn't even notice that. It's also the only thing blocking my queen from seeing their queen. So when I check, the king has to move, and then I take the queen. And that is a tactic called a discovered attack. Yeah, I'm not great at the discovered attacks. So my king's under check. I cannot do anything besides move it somewhere else. I cannot move it here because then I lose my queen, I think. I'm almost checkmating, so I need a safe square to move my king. It's not here. Could be here. What about... my instinct is telling me f5. And now I can force a queen trade. And his knight cannot fork my king and queen. So that was good. Okay, what is this? Now, it wants to trade the queens, but I have a feeling I don't want that. So how do I stop that from happening? That's a fantastic question. If I check the king, it just takes it and I lose the bishop, which doesn't seem fantastic. If I trade, doubles the pawns, but I am down 2 pawns. What if I got no idea. What do I and the way I'll do this is I'll try once And if I really just think I don't understand, I'll ask for a hint. And this one I really don't think I understand. Alright, I'll trade it. Somehow that's correct. And then do I push out his rook and take his bishop? Seeing all that is tough. Somehow I got it. Because he couldn't check, because I just take the... Oh, okay. I am very happy that that worked out in my favor. Okay, so what am I supposed to do? Find the best move for white. I'm close to a checkmate. The king moved forward one. It cannot go to this square. Huh. Now, the question is, do I move this rook? I don't think so. I think I move it up one. Because moving it to f2 allows the king to take the pawn out, also allows him to promote the pawn. So I do think it's h5. And that is mate, because king can't go to any of these squares. Can't go to these two squares. Can't go here, can't take. It's mate. Beautiful. Okay. So what I want if I check first. Okay, okay. No. If I take the bishop first, then he doubles the pawn. Oh, it's a queen sack, isn't it? I just ignore this threat. I just completely ignore this threat. Tank the queen. He has to take back with the knight, otherwise it's mate. Then I take his knight with my rook, which my pawn is protecting, therefore checkmate. Alright. Okay, let me think about that. So there is moving my bishop back, pinning the queen to the bishop. Does he have to take it? Well, he has to do something with it. It seems like the most forcing move. And if I've heard anything in watching chess videos, it's forcing moves are good to look for. And then I take a free bishop. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna just push my pawn. And now, I think I sack my rook. sacrifice the rook, because if he takes, then I just promote with check, which is devastating. This is not as bad as it seems. It seems very bad. Because this is checkmate. But I think I also have checkmate. But let me work it out first. I take with the queen. The king cannot take back because my knight is defending. It only has one square to move to, which is back one. Then I take his rook. Then they have to take back with the queen, otherwise it's mate. And then I take their queen with my knight, and I'm up a rook. Nice. Now there are a couple options here. My favorite one that I'm just now saying is queen takes knight with check. And that is nice. That's the only thing I'm seeing. Now, how do I get the most out of this? Do I take his bishop with my rook? And then I would be up, or would it be even? Because I can also just check the king. Which doesn't seem like the correct option. Yeah, how about it? Take the bishop with the rook. And this is winning because the king moves. Then I move the knight. What's the difference? Okay. So this isn't the best move, surprisingly, because I thought it would be, because it's, you know, attacking the king and the rook. But this is better. I'm setting up a mating net. That's wild. And I just eat pawns. Okay. So I do see that probably just sacrificing the queen is not the best. Okay. Well, this way. And I move my rook up all the way, which I'm fine with, because I'm up a queen, and that works. Okay, I see that I have a couple options. I also see that they have a discover check by moving the pawn forward one, causing the queen to see the king. I have a check I can give. And then that seems good. That's what happens when I take. They can either move, which I don't think is right. I also have this check, but that check just seems not great. If I take the rook, I lose my bishop, which puts me on a bad square. Maybe I don't take first. Is it? No. Nope. Okay, what do I got? Is it? Yeah, these ones are difficult for me to see. Even though their bishop is seeing my bishop is keeping their bishop pinned to the king. Therefore, it can't move and it's a back rank. Got it. Okay, let me try for one or two more, then I'll be good for the day. So they just move to attack my queen. My queen has a threat of this. Smothered maid. Cool. Sacrificing the queen, but making sure I sacrifice it on. Nope, it's not smothered. Because of a reason. Got it. So it's not smothered because the king could just take. So what it is, I think it's sacrificing my queen for their rook. Their rook takes. King is still on this square. So I check, take their queen, and I'm up a rook. And I'm also attacking their rook. Nice. So overall, looking at the numbers on the bottom, more successful completions than not. Happy about that. I think maybe next time I'll record myself playing a game. But for anybody interested, this is how my puzzle dashboard looks. I have 62 to replay, 62 more to replay. I have a more than, well, I guess my success rate is better than 50%, so I'm happy with that. And here's where all the scores are. I'm very bad at basically this half of the board, and better at the other half of the of the chart. But that was good. I really do enjoy chess. You can get lost in thought. Is it, I don't know if it's the best strategy game ever made, but I really do think it's the best version of chess, which is pretty cool to think about, that people tinkered with the game enough that it is the best, the most perfect version of the game. In more modern terms, I do not believe, and I think a lot of people would agree, that chess doesn't need any more balance patches. It's on the final version. Alright, till next time, take care. Peace, peace.